All right, away we go again. Right, looking good. Lovely and sunny today. I hope it is wherever you're tuning in around the world. How long do we have in a mensch?
8 seconds.
Copy that. Kia ora, my friends. How do you do? I, Benny Ward, am here in the garden for another cold open. This is MML 118. And it's fitting there's an 8 in the episode today, because that's going to be a bit of a running theme of the show. The number 8 and the moon. More about that shortly. We'll take a look back at the week that was. We'll have this day in rock history. As always, we'll do live gardening. As always, we'll have joke of the week. And when we play What's in the Bag, something special. There's something in the bag today, and even I don't know what it is. We'll find out together a little bit later on the show. But as for right here, right now, welcome to Monday Morning Live. Let's kick it off with a look back at the week that was. It was a great week. I had a great day yesterday at the farmer's market. I really felt like I was hitting my stride. I really felt like I was on fire. But I can't take all the credit. I've got a great team and some great stall holders. And I always seem to do my best work around the time of the full moon. Funny that. Maybe I'm part werewolf. You know who is part werewolf? Reg McGundry. Now, if you're watching right now on my YouTube channel, Monday Morning Live, and if you're not, you should be, stay tuned to the end of the show. Reg McGundry has something special planned. But that's for later in the show. Let's talk more about the moon. An incredible full moon last night. I hope you all got a chance to see it. You know, I'm fascinated by the moon. I always have been. I guess you could say it's not just a phase. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. I don't think that actually deserves a ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Shout out to Daddy-O, thanks for tuning in. We're trying to get a joke of the week out. It might take us a couple of goes. The moon. Oh, did you know? I've got to come up with a joke. Something that I heard yesterday. They opened a restaurant on the moon. I hear the food's not bad, but unfortunately there's no atmosphere. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. There's a joke of the week. It took a couple of goes. Shout out to my friend Stephen. Thank you for tuning in. A couple of goes at getting a joke of the week out there. You know what else took a couple of goes? In fact, you know what took 8 attempts? Getting to the moon. It was Apollo 8 that was the first manned spacecraft to get to the moon. They didn't land on the moon, they just did a few laps and then went home. Fascinated by the moon. Fascinated. A wonderful full moon last night. I hope you got a chance to see it. In fact, just on the subject of the moon, fun fact alert. Here we go. The sun is 400 times bigger than the moon. But the sun is also 400 times further away than the moon. That's why the sun and the moon appear the same size in the sky. In fact, if you put the sun and the moon together in the sky, they'd form a number 8. There we go. Talking about number 8s this morning. Since Brooke, here's a good number 8. Right, what else happened in the week that was? Oh, my dad had a birthday. Shout out to Daddy-O. His birthday is on the 8th. Now that leads us nicely into this day in rock history. There was an album released today. It's one of the most underrated, unique and special albums of all time. It's called Barubba Juggle. And it's by the Scottish singer-songwriter Donovan. Now Barubba Juggle, it's just a nonsense word. It doesn't really mean anything. It's like when the Beatles would say goo goo gajoob. In fact, Donovan and the Beatles were good friends. Now when I told my dad that I've been listening to a lot of Donovan, he just went, oh yeah. Proving once again that my dad is the coolest man I know. Right, a great time yesterday at the Melbourne Farmers Market. We had a couple of special stall holders. I'll tell you about them, 2 of them when we do What's in the Bag. In fact, in order to do live gardening, we have to first do What's in the Bag. Who else is watching? Shout out to Jacob. Good morning. We're about to play What's in the Bag. Now, something very special in the bag today. 2 things. But one of them, it's special. Even I don't know what it is. So yesterday at the farmers market, we were joined by the Marlborough Community Potters. They were selling their handcrafted pottery, They did a pottery display. They had a do-it-yourself pottery thing for the kids, and they had a lucky dip. That's where I got this. I'm going to open it up and find out what it is. It's got green, my favourite colour. That's a good start. Oh, look at that. It's like a little bowl. How cool. Thank you to the Marlborough Community Potters at the Marlborough Farmers Market yesterday. Also at the Marlborough Farmers Market yesterday, as we continue with what's in the bag, there was a group called Grounds to Garden. And from them I got this. This is a garden fertiliser made with 50% coffee grounds, 50% worm castings. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to use some in our live gardening segment as we get into live gardening. Now, these are Adam Mench's seedlings. This is a Corfly and this is a Thyme. These are grown as part of the grow-off to determine a new World Gardening Federation champion. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of this coffee ground worm cast fertiliser as a sort of a top dressing for these seedlings of Adam Mench's. Open it up. Okay, so like it's not wet, it's damp, but certainly not wet. Oh, I might actually just use this to scoop some out. And here we go. We're just going to sprinkle it over the surface, just a little bit on the surface. And this will be interesting because, as most of you know, I love a good experiment. And we're going to do a little experiment. So we've used some of the fertiliser here on these ones. These ones, now they look about the same size. Would you agree? They look about the same size. So it'll be interesting to see whether the fertiliser gives these one that extra kick. Now what we're going to do is we're going to give it some water, because you can never underestimate the value of water. And I'm just going to give these a little bit of a spritz, just to dissolve that fertiliser. All thanks to the Benny's 6100 series spritzer. Available now in the gift shop. Why not buy 2? In fact, what the heck, why not buy 8? There's our live gardening. We have taken a look back at the week that was. A great time at the Marlborough Farmers Market. Great time on the farm. On the farm last week, I sowed some seeds from vegetables that I saved from last year. So I grew them from a seed last year, saved the seeds, grew them from a seed again this year. Have I shouted out to everyone? I've shouted out to Daddy-O, to Renee, to Stephen, and Sally, and Jacob. Thank you all for tuning in. Now, thank you all for joining me at the Marlborough Farmers Market, and thank you to everybody who tunes into my YouTube channel, which is also Monday Morning Live. Nice and simple, just like myself. It really means a lot to me, your support. I've just ticked over 100,000 views. So thank you so much for all your support on my YouTube channel. Thank you to everyone who comes to see me at the Marlborough Farmers Market. And I, Benny Ward, will see you next time in the garden, because diamonds are forever, and so is Monday Morning Live. Speaking of things that last forever, have you noticed that the infinity sign is a number 8? There you go. Thank you for joining. Have a great day, folks.
And we're clear.
Greetings, plebs and crescent. I am Reg McGundry, former World Gardening Federation champion. And the time has come for me to reclaim my championship. Because what we do in life echoes in eternity. Or not. I guess I'll just have to win the grow-off.